Today, we've got a lot to unpack because the conversation surrounding Claressa Shields and Papoose keeps getting bigger. Every time it feels like the story is finally slowing down, another clip, another interview, or another social media post sends people right back into debate mode. Between the BET Awards, the online reactions, and the latest personal news making the rounds, there's definitely plenty to talk about. Let's start with what caught everyone's attention first. If you watched my previous video, then you already know I talked about Claressa Shields and Papoose making their appearance together on the BET Awards red carpet. It was one of those moments that instantly took over social media, not because of anything dramatic that happened, but because people started analyzing every little detail. From the moment they stepped onto the carpet, viewers were already reading into their body language. Some people thought Claressa looked genuinely excited to be there. She smiled throughout the interviews, appeared affectionate toward Papoose, and seemed determined to enjoy the night. Others interpreted that same energy differently, arguing that she looked like she was trying extra hard to show the world just how happy they were together. As always, the internet had opinions. Some viewers described it as confidence, others called it overcompensating. And, of course, plenty of people couldn't resist bringing up the ongoing relationship controversy that surrounded them for months. Meanwhile, Papoose became a talking point for an entirely different reason. A lot of fans focused on his facial expressions throughout the event. Some thought he simply looked tired after a busy schedule. Others believed he appeared quiet, reserved, or uncomfortable being in front of the cameras. Those interpretations are entirely subjective, but they quickly became one of the biggest discussions online. Once social media decides to analyze body language, every glance, every smile, and every pause suddenly becomes part of a larger narrative. Whether that's fair or not is another conversation entirely. Then there was another detail that caught people's attention. Videos circulating online showed a large group connected to Win Records arriving together, leading some viewers to wonder who was there and who wasn't. One name that immediately came up was Kata. People began asking why she wasn't as visible during parts of the event, especially considering recent music releases that many assumed would benefit from the exposure. A short time later, the answer appeared to become much clearer. Photos and videos showed Kata proudly revealing what looked like a baby bump, leading many fans to congratulate her on what appears to be her second pregnancy. If that's the case, congratulations are certainly in order. Starting or growing a family is exciting news, and many supporters were happy to celebrate that moment. The timing also caught people's attention, because Kata has reportedly been connected to upcoming performances and promotional events later this year, including appearances associated with Win Records and a reggae festival. Naturally, fans immediately began wondering whether the pregnancy announcement and the upcoming music promotion might overlap as part of a broader rollout. Of course, that's only speculation at this point. Sometimes good news is simply good news. Still, when celebrities make major announcements around high-profile events like the BET Awards, people inevitably start connecting dots. Then came another moment that had social media buzzing. BET's official social media account shared a playful caption featuring Claressa and Papoose during the event. The post immediately generated thousands of reactions. Some people laughed, others thought it was harmless fun. But another group believed the caption indirectly acknowledged the ongoing controversy surrounding their relationship, especially considering that Papoose's divorce proceedings have not yet been publicly finalized. That alone was enough to spark another round of debate. Some commenters questioned whether it was appropriate to refer to Papoose as Claressa's man, while legal matters involving his marriage remain unresolved. Others argued that relationships are often emotionally over long before the paperwork is complete. Once again, opinions were completely divided. Then viewers began discussing something much smaller that somehow became a major conversation anyway. Photos from inside the venue led some internet users to speculate about where various attendees were seated during the show. Several blurry images circulated online, prompting jokes that quickly spread across comment sections. As expected, social media wasted absolutely no time turning the moment into memes. One commenter joked that Papoose already looked ready to leave before the night even got started. Another claimed the clip would become reaction gift material within hours. Others focused on what they believed was a contrast in energy, saying Claressa appeared enthusiastic while Papoose looked much more reserved. Of course, photographs capture only a single moment in time, and it's impossible to know exactly how someone is feeling based on a few seconds of video or a still image. Still, once those clips hit the internet, thousands of people formed their own opinions almost instantly. That's the reality of celebrity culture today. Every public appearance becomes open to interpretation. Every facial expression gets analyzed. Every interaction becomes another headline. Whether those interpretations are accurate or not often matters far less than how quickly they spread. And judging by the amount of discussion surrounding this BET Awards appearance, it's clear this story is still far from over. As more clips from the BET Awards made their way across social media, the conversation only got louder. Comment after comment focused less on what Claressa Shields and Papoose were wearing, and more on what people believed they were seeing in Papoose's facial expressions. One viewer asked why he looked so serious throughout the evening. Another joked that he looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. Others went even further, claiming he appeared uncomfortable or uninterested during the red carpet interviews. Some commenters even wrote things like, "I hope I never end up in a relationship where somebody looks at me like that." Of course, it's worth remembering that body language can be interpreted in countless different ways. A few seconds of video or a handful of photographs rarely tell the whole story. Someone can be tired, distracted, thinking about work, or simply not someone who enjoys posing for cameras. But once those clips hit the internet, context usually disappears. Instead, the internet turns every expression into a headline. Before long, the discussion wasn't even about the BET Awards anymore. It became another viral conversation about Claressa and Papoose's relationship. Some people questioned why BET featured them so prominently on the red carpet. Others defended the network, pointing out that Claressa remains one of the most accomplished athletes in boxing and that celebrity couples regularly receive media attention at major events. Still, the online jokes kept coming. By the end of the night, what was intended to be another public appearance had become meme material across multiple social media platforms. That leads to a much larger conversation. Celebrity appearances are supposed to generate positive publicity. Award shows, podcast interviews, magazine covers, red carpets. All of those opportunities are designed to strengthen someone's public image, but sometimes they accomplish the exact opposite. Instead of creating admiration, they create endless scrutiny. Every detail becomes something for the public to analyze. One thing that many viewers also noticed was how Claressa's award category wasn't highlighted during the main televised broadcast. For some fans, that came as a surprise. Others pointed out that award shows frequently move categories on and off the live broadcast because of time constraints, production decisions, and scheduling. Still, some supporters questioned whether one of boxing's biggest stars should have received more recognition during the show. That became another discussion entirely. People started comparing how different athletes are presented during major award ceremonies. Some argue that globally recognized sports figures often receive more prominent placement. Others felt there wasn't enough information to draw conclusions about why certain categories aired while others didn't. Regardless of the reason, the decision became another talking point surrounding the evening. The seating arrangement also became part of the online conversation. Photos circulating from inside the venue led some viewers to speculate about where different guests were placed throughout the theater. Again, those observations quickly turned into assumptions about status, importance, and recognition, even though seating assignments at award shows can depend on numerous logistical factors that aren't visible to the public. That's the reality of today's internet culture. A simple camera angle becomes a theory. A seating chart becomes controversy. A facial expression becomes evidence of something much larger. Whether those conclusions are accurate often becomes secondary. As for Claressa herself, many fans believe she viewed the BET Awards as another important opportunity to showcase both her career and her personal life. Others argue she's simply living publicly while people project their own narratives onto every appearance she makes. Either way, it's impossible to ignore just how much attention follows her every move. Since her relationship with Papoose became public, conversations about her have extended well beyond boxing. Sometimes people discuss her accomplishments inside the ring. Other times, the relationship becomes the headline instead. That shift has led some fans to wonder whether the attention surrounding her personal life has started overshadowing her athletic achievements. Others disagree completely, arguing that she's still one of the biggest names in women's boxing regardless of celebrity gossip. The conversation doesn't stop there. Some critics have questioned whether recent promotional efforts surrounding her upcoming fight have generated the kind of excitement many expected. They point to online discussions that focused heavily on celebrity appearances, crossover entertainment, and reality television personalities instead of breaking down the matchup itself. Supporters counter that bringing in entertainers and influencers helps attract new audiences to women's boxing and expands the sport's visibility. It's a debate that doesn't have one clear answer. When sports intersect with entertainment, opinions naturally become divided. One group wants the spotlight to remain entirely on athletic competition. Another believes crossover promotion is exactly what modern sports need to reach larger audiences. By the end of the day, that's really the bigger story. The conversation surrounding Claressa has become much larger than boxing. It's now about branding, public perception, celebrity relationships, media attention, and how quickly the internet can transform one red carpet appearance into days of non-stop discussion. Whether that attention ultimately helps or hurts her public image is something only time will answer. Whatever the reason, it's clear that the public conversation has changed. Not long ago, nearly every headline surrounding Claressa Shields focused on championships, historic accomplishments, and breaking barriers in women's boxing. Today, many of the biggest conversations online revolve around her relationship, red carpet appearances, and social media moments. Whether that's fair or not, perception matters. One thing I found interesting was how differently people interpreted BET's social media post. Some fans saw it as harmless humor, others believed it was the network playfully poking fun at the couple, and then there were viewers who felt the caption unintentionally reinforced many of the jokes that had already been circulating online. Again, that's interpretation rather than fact, but it explains why the post generated so much discussion. From one perspective, being featured by a major network is positive exposure. Any publicity can help keep someone's name in the conversation. From another perspective, however, people argued that the attention wasn't necessarily flattering. Instead of talking about Claressa's achievements inside the ring, many commenters focused almost entirely on the couple's body language. That's what ended up dominating the conversation. As social media continued reacting, more people started comparing Papoose's demeanor during this appearance with past award shows where he attended alongside Remy Ma. Some viewers felt he looked more relaxed in older clips. Others pushed back, pointing out that comparing different events, different years, and completely different circumstances doesn't really prove anything. After all, a person's mood can change for countless reasons. A few seconds on camera rarely tell the full story. Still, comparisons spread quickly online. That's simply how celebrity culture works today. Once people create a narrative, every new video becomes another piece of supposed evidence supporting it. Of course, it's also important to remember that everyone involved is responsible for their own choices.